Actually, we had to go to battle with a group of unit owners last night. Didn't go how we wanted it to go. I think we lost that battle. So, and what the worst part about it is we were genuinely trying to do the right thing by them, like getting their documents in order so that they have legal protections and trying to plan their budget so that they don't go bankrupt in 10 years. And they didn't want any
How dare you?
part of that. They wanted to pay as little as possible and then leave that problem for the next guy. And so they voted out the board, and I think I'm next, but I think I beat them to the punch because I'm like, if you guys aren't going to like be responsible and fund, this reserve study that we have that is telling you guys need to put X amount of dollars away every year so that you guys don't go bankrupt in 10 years or 20 years, and you just want to ignore that, then I can't be part of that. And we'll see what happens. I said, basically, I understand that your priorities are different, but you have the right to run your association however you want, but I also have the right to align myself with clients who are trying to do the right thing and who we align with ideologically. Mm-hmm. And if that's not you guys, that's okay. Our contract's up in 60 days and
there it is.
There it is. If you guys want to go this route, you're welcome to. Maybe.
Seems kind of stupid.
On my part?
No, not on your part. No, if anything, you're being smart. Seems like they're being stupid.
Yeah, that's
like they're bringing in a professional property manager and saying, you're an idiot and our way is the best.
No, so the previous board brought me in and we got the maintenance standards passed, which was almost led to a revolt in and of itself because people didn't want to be told what to do with their own properties.
Well,
like, clean your dryer vents and
sucks for you. It's a condo association.
I know. Clean your dryer vents, change your water heater every 10
years. Sure. That's like standard thing.
Right.
That is not something like crazy new that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah. Use good braided, metal flex connectors,
100%.
Water supply. So all this stuff, right? Get these things checked on this basis.
Yeah.
And they were not having any of it. They were like, you have no right to hold us to these standards. And who's going to be checking this stuff? And are you going to be trying to come into our unit? And, we're like, no, we're putting this here so that if there's ever a loss, the association's not going to pay because some unit owner was negligent and chose not to do their necessary maintenance. Yeah. And everybody got in a whole tizzy about that. So, but it ultimately did end up passing. And then a few months later was the elections. And in that time, we also did the reserve study and told everybody, okay, so you guys, it's a relatively new association. Like the first buildings were built 10 years ago. And the more recent buildings were just finished last year and turned over from the developer. So I'm like, this is great because you guys are starting from zero, right? You're at ground zero.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time. Get your reserve study done now. Start putting money away as soon as possible so that when your windows and sliders go in 10, 15 years, money's in the bank. When your roof on the first building start to go in 10 years, money's in the bank. When you need your driveway sealed, right? Money's in the bank. Because all of that stuff adds up. And the thing is, it all becomes due around the same time.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. So if you, and their philosophy, which I found out last night, so essentially what happened was this group of older unit owners who imagine they're going to be gone or dead by the time any of this stuff hits, they just don't want to put the money away now. They want to pay $200 a month in HOA dues, and they don't want to pay more than that because who cares about the next guy? Who cares about whoever has to deal with this property later?
Yeah, sounds about right.
I just want my dues low
right
now. So they kind of campaigned and got all the unit owners who shared their ideology or who didn't understand or were uninformed about what exactly was going on. And they banded them all together, got them all riled up. And basically there was elections. There was one board vacancy already, and then the president was up for re-election. And so the president ran again, and but they had their two nominees that they wanted in. So the two board members who had originally hired me and who we did all this work to kind of get them settled in a good place, now one is out, and the other one who's left is outvoted on basically everything. You know, and she's just there. She's an attorney too, and she's like, this is ridiculous because the people who have now taken over are largely incompetent.
I'm kind of shocked that only a 10-year-old building, that they wouldn't have those things already in place when you bought.
Right. Well, because the developer just turned it over.
Oh,
and the developer made a lot of mistakes along the way.
Really?
But yeah,
I didn't know that developers made mistakes.
Yeah, they all their work is always
it's usually
flawless.
Pretty spot on.
So they turned it over, and they just wanted people to buy in with low dues, and sold them all this promise, and now everybody just wants low dues. They don't care about any of the things that are going to become a reality for them.
Yeah.
So
there's a complex, I forget where, but the guy promised that they would be buying on a golf course and that he was going to do the 9-hole golf course after the development was done.
And he just didn't do it. Yeah.
See all these people who paid $600,000-$700,000 to be on a golf course, and they're on a field with overgrown brush.
Yeah, the zoning department says we can put a golf course there.
If you do your math,
yeah,
per hole, a golf course is like upwards of $2 million to develop.
Really?
Yes. It's ridiculous. It's like $2 million range per hole. So I don't care how many houses you sell. That's a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
To be, developing a golf course.
And not develop it.
And then not to develop it.
Where is this?
I think it's Southington.
Jeez.
Because it used to be a golf course. So a lot of the stuff is already done as far as like the grading and the way the ground is, but you just have to basically redo it. So he probably would save maybe half.
Right.
But even still, $500,000 per hole, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, for 9 holes.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So